Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. So we're going to be looking at something you literally see every single day. Whether you're enjoying a sweet summer treat or just driving down the highway through a construction zone, this shape is everywhere. Today, we're going to master the volume of a cone. But we aren't just going to sit here memorizing a bunch of numbers and variables. No way. We're going to look at the geometry of our world through the lens of biblical integrity. We're going to see how calculating space perfectly aligns with being a responsible, fair, and morally grounded decision maker. So get ready, because math is about to get very real and, honestly, a lot more meaningful.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our explainer today covers 6 key areas. First, the shape of our world. Second, the measure of fairness. Third, decoding the cone formula. Fourth, solving real-world examples. Fifth, your turn to measure. And finally, education with morality.
All right, Section 1, the shape of our world. Let's identify the cones right in front of us.
So, what do ice cream, traffic, and rockets actually have in common? I know, it kind of sounds like the setup to a really bad dad joke, right? But seriously, think about the classic ice cream cone you hold in your hand, those bright orange traffic cones lining a busy street, and the massive exhaust nozzles at the bottom of a space-bound rocket. The answer is that they all share the exact same geometric shape. They're all cones. You know, what's beautifully simple about this shape is just how it breaks down. Basically, a cone is simply a three-dimensional shape that features one perfectly circular base at the bottom, and then it tapers up smoothly to a single pointed top. In geometry, we actually call that pointed top the vertex. And that's really it. One circular base, one vertex. Grounding the abstract math in this really clear, easy-to-grasp visual structure is going to make everything that follows so much easier to understand. Moving right along to Section 2, the measure of fairness. Let's look at why math matters morally.
The source material for today's explainer points us to Proverbs 11:1, which tells us, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." Think back to ancient times for a second. Merchants used physical scales to measure out goods. A false balance meant, well, cheating someone out of what they paid for. A just weight meant acting with total integrity. So calculating volume isn't just some random academic exercise you do for a grade. Fundamentally, it's about fairness and integrity. It's about making sure things are exactly as they should be.
So why does all of this matter to us right now? Well, mathematics isn't just about crunching numbers on a calculator. Ensuring accurate measurements ensures fairness in trade and manufacturing. It makes us better, significantly more reliable designers and problem solvers. Whether you're designing a high-tech rocket nozzle that needs to handle incredibly specific pressure, or, an ice cream cone that needs to hold the right amount of dessert without spilling over, you absolutely need attention to detail. Learning to calculate volume correctly builds a core habit of responsibility. And that responsibility spills over directly into your everyday life and everyday decision-making.
Section 3, decoding the cone formula. It's time to discover the secret math rule. All right, prepare yourselves for a massive aha moment. Seriously, this blew my mind the first time I saw it. Imagine a regular soup can. That's a cylinder. Now imagine a cone that has the exact same circular bottom as that soup can and is the exact same height. If you filled that cone with water, actually let's say sand, it's a bit less messy. If you filled it with sand and poured it into the cylinder, how many times would you have to do that to fill the cylinder completely? Exactly 3 times. No more, no less. The volume of a cone is exactly 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder with the same base and height. And this brilliantly illustrates the formula we use. V equals 1/3 times pi times r squared times h. Let's break down these pieces real quick. V is our volume, the total space inside the cone. R is the radius, which is just the distance from the center of our circular base out to the edge. H is the height, straight up from the center of that base right to the vertex. So you find the area of the circular base by doing pi times r squared, you multiply that by the height, and then, here's the absolute magic of it. You just multiply by 1/3. Section 4, solving real-world examples. Time for some step-by-step application. Let's put this into practice, shall we? First up, an ice cream cone. Let's say it has a radius of 3 centimeters and a height of 9 centimeters. If we plug that into our handy formula, 1/3 times pi times 3 squared times 9, we get 27 pi, which is roughly 84.82 cubic centimeters. Perfect! Next, let's look at a party hat. The radius is 4 inches and the height is 10 inches. So 1/3 times pi times 4 squared times 10 gives us 160 pi over 3, or about 167.55 cubic inches. Finally, think of a regular kitchen funnel. Radius is 2 centimeters, height is 12 centimeters. 1/3 times pi times 2 squared times 12 equals exactly 16 pi, which is roughly 50.27 cubic centimeters. See how that works? As long as you know the radius and the height, that 1/3 rule really does all the heavy lifting for you.
Section 5. Your turn to measure. Let's go ahead and test your new skills.
Okay, now I'm throwing it over to you. Here are 5 homework challenges. Go ahead and pause the explainer right now, grab a piece of scrap paper and jot these down. Number 1, a cone with a radius of 5 centimeters and a height of 15 centimeters. Number 2, base radius of 6 centimeters, height of 9 centimeters. Number 3, a scoop with a radius of 3 inches and a height of 7 inches. Number 4, a tent with a radius of 4 feet and a height of 10 feet. And for number 5, I want you to get creative. Invent your very own cone-shaped object, give it a radius and a height, and solve it yourself. Take true ownership of this learning, you know? You have the formula and you absolutely have the skills to do this.
And finally, Section 6, Education with Morality. This is where math and morality truly align.
The foundational philosophy of the Heroesmart Academy Godly Learner series puts it very clearly. Education without morality will hurt. Just think about that for a second. You can know exactly how to calculate the volume of a cone. You can memorize literally every single formula in the geometry textbook. But if you don't combine that education with biblical morality, it's totally incomplete. Smarts without a moral grounding eventually lead to decisions that harm ourselves and that harm others. Being educated gives you incredibly powerful tools, for sure. But morality gives you the blueprint on how to use those tools to build things up instead of destroying them.
The series also points us to Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7, which promises genuine peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. When you engage your mind with real integrity, when you calculate the just weight from Proverbs we talked about earlier, when you care about fairness and honesty just as much as you care about getting an A on a math test, you experience true, lasting peace of mind. Your intelligence and your spirit are working together in perfect harmony. It's a really beautiful thing.
Which brings us to one incredibly provocative question to close out on. What's the point of being smart and supposedly educated if you continue to make bad choices that hurt? Let that sink in for a bit. Let your mathematics be accurate and let your decisions be just. Keep practicing those formulas, keep seeking that peace of mind, and I will see you in the next explainer.